Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic episode of the Cactus Atlas. I'm Glenn, your host, and we are in Kings Canyon National Park early, right after 6 a.m., about to head out to Sequoia National Park, the more popular of the two. And you can see the National Park Service fire crews. This is where they meet, I think, to do all the prescribed burns and things that they're probably doing, or I don't know if they're just, I don't know. Anywho, good job, fellas. I appreciate everything they do. And you should too. But for now, we're heading early into Sequoia National Park. Alright, everybody say goodbye to all the cool things we did and saw here in Sunset Campground. Bye-bye. It's where I camped for several nights, and if you're just new here, you want to catch up and binge a few of the episodes leading up to this, you'll see where I camped, right down that way. It was 3 nights there. It was actually quite nice. I liked it. Very little complaint other than just, as usual, the privacy factor and the spots where they can typically try to cram in as many sites as they can. It's even worse, just so you know, out in Sequoia, I did some surveying of like lodgepole campground. There's some great sites in that one, but oh my god. It felt like they crammed them in there when I was doing my Camp View, my other channel, my other side business, when I was filming a drive-through video for that. But anyway, we'll see what we see this morning. We're gonna drive through right where they were doing prescribed burns yesterday. You actually see the sign right there, good timing, as well as the smoke. So I'm hoping it's less smoky over in the Sequoia side. It seemed to be. They're doing a lot more up here right now. Wow, that smoke really settled down here in this morning. It's almost like a fog. But it ain't no fog. You could still see the smoldering. You still see spots of smoke. This is a question that I had. Is this where I'm turning? Oh yeah. This is the way to Sequoia. That was a question I had for one of the National Park Service rangers. I've been driving around so much through the woods, and I've seen a lot of crews doing these controlled burns, prescribed burns, not just here, but national forests. And when they're done, right there, you can't see it, but there's literally flames. There's literally like a campfire-sized fire. There's another one. See it? They just let it sit there and burn unattended after they're done. So my question to the ranger was that I assume, I was just, not really a question, but statement was, I assume they just walk away from it because there's almost no risk of a bigger fire starting because they burnt everything else. So those isolated pockets of fire are no longer a risk. But for somebody not used to this, it just seems weird. You have like fires like just going all night long, but no wildfires catching fire. Am I right about that? Is that really the gist of it? Do the prescribed burn, and then at some point it's just no risk of it catching fire, so leave whatever little fire is left going. I mean, I've even seen little pine trees like at the base of the stumps on fire, but some pine trees I know are very resistant to fire too. So, and they need fire for their pine cones to open and to propagate. This is the smokiest I've seen it in my last few days here. There are some really expansive views coming up, and we're about to drive through where they had a really big fire here a couple years back, I believe. I don't remember the name of it, but we're gonna come out into a clearing and you're gonna be able to see, well, normally you'd be able to see off into the distance. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see anything today, the way this is, but no worries. We're not here to look at views on this episode. We're here to seek out the most giant trees ever, or currently. out between my approximate location at Sunset Campground in Fresno, California, west of here. My first night here, I saw the storm pass by. Apparently there were many lightning strikes that caused wildfires west of here, down further. Well, it turns out, not last night, but the night before, I was working and there was a hill or a mountain in the distance. It looked a lot closer than I think it actually was. You know, when the daytime came, couldn't even see it anymore. But you'd see, I saw the fire literally come up and over the mountain and then make its way downward. And if you just sat there and watched it in real time, it's almost like one of those things. If you had a GoPro time lapse, you'd see it, but you think you could see it move, and then you'd see the progress. It was unmistakable in very short amounts of time. So it's scary stuff when you see that. It's just, but it looks like they got that one under control. It was on the top of a hill. It came up and over. And then last night I looked again and I saw a faint orange glow on the other side of the mountain. So either they just burnt everything and there's nothing left to burn, and then it just went out, or who knows. Firefighting as a, you know, so I shouldn't say, I would say woodland firefighting, or, you know, the hot shot style of firefighting is something I've had a lot of respect for, starting with hiking out to see the hot shot memorial out in Arizona near Yarnell, and hiking out there, and then really getting a taste of the terrain and what these guys have to do to make their way through the forest, sometimes in the hottest time of the year, and all that gear, man. So very much a deep respect. And I live in a very fire-prone region also, and we have a lot of fires in Arizona, as you guys probably already know. But this is a little bit different game up here, I would say, a much different game from Phoenix when it comes to fire prevention. I mean, it's a big industry and a needed one. It probably could use more help. Surprise! It's slow motion time again. If you recall our video last week, you'd remember that our camera decided to showcase a new feature unbeknownst to us, so we have another video in the same vein as our last. Don't worry though, if relaxing slow-mo sequences aren't your jam, we figure it out in the next video we filmed. But enough about that. We're here for the Sherman Tree, and we've got a fair bit to tell you about this giant, so let's get back to it. Well, we'll drive out this way. I think this is another area where there was some pretty extensive views, but views we won't be able to see with this haze. I'll show you a little bit more, I decided, of the burnt forest. Not that it's a happy sight. And just the smoke, you know, what it's like to be here at this time of the year. I'm starting to see sequoia trees. You see those big ones there? And I think I remember driving through here. There's actually a few in here too. There's probably a grove right around here. There's a little parking lot. Yeah, there's a little trail. We're seeking out larger than that. The largest of the large. So lodgepole would be left. That's where I would normally turn, I guess, to go take showers. You could buy gifts there, things like that. There's a campground, visitor store, market, restaurant, showers, you name it. So my plan is kind of casual on this. It's my first time coming to Sequoia. Well, not being here. I was here, like I said, for business stuff a couple days ago, to showering, whatever. First time really exploring the park as a tourist for fun, for amazement, and to see these trees that we're going to seek out. And one might think, oh, you should save things like the General Sherman Tree for the grand spectacular, the grand finale, and I'm going to it first. We'll probably spend a lot of our time there studying these things if it's as spectacular as I think it's going to be. And this is really weird being in here, like driving around, because I have a full 5G signal. Best signal I've had on in the last week, like right here. Kings Canyon, I feel like we're chopped liver over there. You don't get anything good.
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
You just get the leftovers. And then you gotta come over here and use all of their stuff, their showers. Okay, so here we are at this parking lot, or said we are, but we're still going. Has anybody seen any giant trees yet? Although the regular pine trees are really big around here too, so.
You have arrived.
I have. Well, where's all the people at? There's all this overflow parking. Okay, so I can tell you then that just seeing the size of this parking lot for a national park, I would say this shows you the potential for how insane it can get. I would say compared to the Grant tree over in Kings Canyon at this hour, this is a pretty good little crowd, although it's not a crowd at all. There's probably, like 10 cars here. So I would say my worries were very unfounded. Oops. About not being able to find parking, having too many people to make it not enjoyable. It couldn't be a better situation. And that's why we start early and we don't dilly-dally, because I can't stand too many people. Let's go see these things. I'm excited. I'm excited. When visiting the General Sherman Tree in Sequoia National Park, you'll begin your journey at a designated parking lot where you'll find ample space to leave your vehicle before embarking on a short, scenic walk to the tree. The trail leading to the General Sherman Tree is paved and well-maintained, making it accessible to most visitors. If you're lucky, you might even see some deer. Lucky for them, they are welcome. Pets, however, are not. Along the way, you'll pass through the giant forest, a grove of ancient sequoias that has captivated explorers for centuries. It was here in 1873 that John Muir, upon entering the grove, famously described it as
a magnificent growth of giants. One naturally walked softly and awe-stricken among them. I wandered on, meeting nobler trees where all are noble. This part of the Sequoia belt seemed to me to be the finest, and I then named it the Giant Forest.
As you continue down the trail, you'll come across several vantage points, each offering a unique perspective of the General Sherman Tree's immense size. The tree stands at an incredible height of 275 feet and has a base diameter of over 36 feet,
making it the largest known living single-stem tree by volume on Earth. This ancient giant, estimated to be between 2,200 and 2,700 years old, boasts a trunk containing an astonishing 52,500 cubic feet of wood. Informational panels along the trail provide insights into the tree's history and the ecosystem that supports it, allowing you to fully appreciate the significance of this natural wonder. Having gawked at the tree long enough, it was time to move on to our next destination.
We're heading to our next location. This is departing the General Sherman Tree parking lot. You can see, not horrible. There's still lots of parking up close and lots of overflow parking, but it filled up a bit, so I went at just the right time. It's 8:30 a.m. now.
Continue for half a mile.
And now I'm confused about our next stop, and once I get on the road here, I'll tell you why. But I guess we'll find out in about 15 minutes as we drive over there. Out of all of the spots in the park, I recall this one is scant on parking. I wouldn't say it's a popular spot, but I wouldn't say it's the main spot. It's a trail. It's Moro Rock. Why am I beating around the bush? Some of you might know what that is, some of you don't. What I'm confused about is Google says, oh, it opens at 9 a.m. I've never in my life had a trail had opening hours before, which is very odd. It's a unique trail, as you're gonna see, and it's not one for people that dislike heights. So maybe there's a safety reason for that. We should be there about 15 minutes prior to 9, 8:45 a.m. So I guess we'll find out.
In a quarter mile.
There's a bear, there's a bear, there's a bear, there's a bear. There's a bear and a baby cub. You see the baby cub on the tree? You see that? My very first sightings. Oh, wow. Let me get my other camera out and see if I can get this here. They're afraid. They're not that afraid. Just getting a fleeting moment here of a baby cub and its mama, black bear. What a treat. And the baby is climbing trees. Oh, I'm trying to zoom in and do the best I can here, guys. You guys should be more afraid than this, shouldn't you? Wow. This is a very fruitful trip, I would say, in terms of fun wildlife.
Turn left onto Wolverton Road.
Baby deer, baby bear cubs, mama bear cubs. I was gonna get out of the truck and try to get a closer look, but I decided no, because it's a mama bear with a cub.
Continue on Wolverton Road for half a mile.
It didn't seem, they didn't seem too frightened. I don't know if you saw the baby when I pulled up. It made a beeline for the tree and started to climb up, and then it, I guess, changed its mind. Mama bear said, it's just the Cactus Atlas guy. He's not gonna do anything bad. Wow, that was so fun. That was so cool. So I guess we're back down in a different way for Sherman Tree parking. I think I remember seeing this area. There's like little smaller parking lots and areas that were closer, I think, to the tree. Right here. But, and there's spots. I just don't know if people don't know about it, or maybe I'm wrong and it's not the most ideal, but I saw this on a map earlier. And you can see giant sequoia all throughout this drive, so I think I did the right thing in filming from the vehicle here. And we will continue to film. Maybe we'll see another bear. I want to see a baby bear cub climb a sequoia tree. That's what I really want to see. Or even a full-grown bear. I'm sure it's happened. Now we're going down and down and down again. If it is true that it opens at 9, my coincidental timing could not have been better, because I'll be there at 8:47 a.m. But a trail with hours attached to it, so strange. I'm just wondering if it's weird Google nonsense. I love the lighting back here right now too. The green, the reddish brown of the sequoia bark. The ferns. Lots of sequoia. I'm used to Kings Canyon now, where it seems like all that's left over there are just stumps. They, back in the 1800s, they went hog wild over there. But there's a lot more, it seems, sequoia over this way. Hence why they probably named it Sequoia National Park and not something else. I'm just gonna roll here on the remaining drive. There's this road you turned on next to the giant forest museum, and it says long, windy, steep road. I love long, windy, steep roads, if you know. Unfortunately for this place we're doing today, this could be a complete dud, and I'm worried it might be now that I'm seeing how smoky the valley is, because really what Moro Rock is a walk up, a really steep walk up to an amazing overlook that overlooks an expansive landscape. And if said landscape is covered in smoke, we'll see what we can do, but I have plan Bs if need be, but we can't not come here and at least try. I have arrived on the forest moon of Endor, I feel like. I didn't really think how much I would just enjoy the drive through these forests, though.
Slight right. Then, turn right.
If for some reason there's an issue, don't worry, because I have many plan Bs. And now that I'm back here in these
Turn right.
dense sequoia groves, I mean, there's no shortage of things to check out. All right, we're gonna turn here. Man, we're in here deep. I think there's an
In
edge
a quarter mile. Slight right.
of a mountain over here. We're pretty much right up on it. So, I mean, there's little parking spots out here about 0.3 miles away from the parking lot. So I imagine you could park and walk if parking is a problem over here. Then you got your pedestrian crossing, so we must be close to the trailhead. There's parking there if we need. Oh my God, I'm seeing this in person. Well, there's the rock. It's like a dome. I mean, it's not quite like a half dome, but yeah, you can't see jack diddly, you know what. Oh, this sucks. This sucks so bad. There are people here. I'm gonna like kind of go to the edge over here and we'll look, but and then Amy can find pictures of what it's supposed to look like on a good day. But I have no issue going up there, but it's just gonna be a waste of time is the problem.
Moro Rock is a prominent granite dome in Sequoia National Park, offering visitors one of the most breathtaking viewpoints in the Sierra Nevada. The trail to Moro Rock is an adventure in itself, over 350 steps carved into the granite to be exact. You'll climb to an elevation of 6,725 feet, and it could be a little challenging, especially if you have any fear of heights. Never fear though, railings and steps guide you safely to the summit. As you ascend, you'll pass through narrow crevices along sheer drop-offs, offering exhilarating glimpses of the landscape below. Once at the top, the 360-degree views are simply spectacular, with the Great Western Divide, a stunning ridge of high peaks, dominating the horizon to the east. Moro Rock is not only a popular spot for hikers, but also a perfect place to witness the grandeur of Sequoia National Park from above. Unfortunately, on my visit, the views were exactly as I feared, with smoke from the prescribed burns in the area creating a thick haze, obscuring much of the scenery I went seeking. That's life though, so after a quick stop at Lodgepole Market Center to take a shower and tend to some chores, we continued on with our exploration.
Alright, say goodbye to the Lodgepole Market. Showers, laundry, all of it. Say goodbye to Sequoia. Well, we're not done with Sequoia just yet, but I am meandering over to an exit. So what I wanted to do is capture some of the drive out, because I caught some earlier and just when we went to Moro Rock and I was driving back from Moro Rock and didn't film. You saw the drive there, but then it just kind of hit me as I was enjoying it. There are a lot of sequoia trees here. Like the quantity, it seems far greater than any other grove that I've seen. And like they're saying at the Sherman Tree, I guess whatever they have going on here is the best habitat for them. She started to say something, then she just stopped. Did she realize she was interrupting me? Yeah, I could tell Google has no idea where I'm at. It's
in 600 feet, turn left onto General's Highway.
They thought I was in the parking lot still. But now, not. So I would say all bets are off with crowds and traffic. I don't know why I always set her up and then just start talking and as if she's not going to interrupt me. And then I get mad at her. Ugh, I'm a smart person. Alrighty, yeah, so we're heading actually back towards the direction of that Moro Rock and the giant forest.
Continue on General's Highway for 4 miles.
And so we're probably going to retread some similar ground, but we're not going far. Kind of sad, actually, to have to be leaving this area, and especially because I was here for 3 nights, and that wasn't even close enough to. I just did the skimming of the surface of the most touristy stuff, and there's a long list of things that I want to do, hikes, stuff that I wasn't able to do because of time, and just to enjoy it and to slow down. That's the hardest part for me. I don't really get to do that. Every single day this week I woke up, got ready, and immediately left and started filming and didn't get back to the campground usually until like 6 at night. And then I have to switch gears, and then I start pulling down and backing up footage till I go to sleep. So pretty much from waking till I go to bed, I'm working on something actively for this thing. So it's a lot of work. This is the way we came, and I want to correct something I said earlier. I said, oh, there's parking here, and I didn't see it from this direction, but I saw it on the way back. It's handicapped only parking. So if you want to know where that is, I mean, it's pretty full, but it's not full. There's still several spots left, but something good to know about there. It's probably a lot closer and easier to get to the tree. And this is that section that I really was loving earlier, where I was just quite amazed at all of the quantity of trees. It's just beautiful driving back here. There's one of the shuttles. All right, and 1,000 feet turn left. We're going right back the way we came.
Turn left, then turn right.
We're going right up back that road again, apparently. I guess at the very least I'm seeing this now in a much different light a couple hours later than when we drove to Moro Rock, and the sun penetrates in here a lot more than you would think. But if you're wondering why I just didn't go to this earlier, the reason why was I came tomorrow just because I was afraid of not being able to get parking. But this thing here is not what I've come to see, but I keep driving by it. It's called the auto log. I'll just face the truck this way. You can see it. It's a giant log with the roots exposed. We've seen one of those like that, and I talked about it on the video I did a long time ago, the Trail of 100 Giants. That's what it was. Another video. Amy could put a link in the description down below too. All right, our destination, when we went to Moro, we went to the right. There's a split in the road, so we are gonna go somewhere new, and that would be left here, and it should be not too much further. I wonder why there's much more ferns over here on this side. There really weren't any in other groves I've been. You kind of have to have the ferns to get that, it just adds to the ambience. They're getting nice pictures here, which I'm gonna have to photobomb them with my truck. Everybody's waiting their turn for pictures and stuff, and I think, is this a line or what? I don't know what's going on here. Are we in a line, or am I don't think I am. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm confused what this is. There's something over here that I could see a line forming for, but I don't know. I don't think so. Look at these trees back here. Wow. That's the Parker group. I think I actually had that maybe on something to look at, but you can see it right here from the vehicle. I do think I want to get out one last time though and say, get up one last look, close-up look at a sequoia tree, and this Parker group will do just fine. And then we're almost there.
The Parker group is a notable cluster of giant sequoias in Sequoia National Park, named in honor of Captain James Parker, an early advocate for the preservation of these magnificent trees. This group of towering sequoias offers a stunning example of the park's ancient and awe-inspiring forest. The Parker group's close proximity to one another creates a natural cathedral-like setting where visitors can stroll among these giants and experience the grandeur and serenity that defines the sequoia groves of the Sierra Nevada.
My slight concern about this is there going to be a line because people want to set up and take a picture on the other side? And is it going to be reminiscent of the Route 66 sign in Kingman that you can drive through? I've seen others go through it when there's nobody there, but every time I'm freaking there, you got to wait. And people take their time, my God. They forget that other people exist sometimes. So I'm a little nervous, I don't know, or it just might be a quick drive right through it and that's it. I don't know if there's a way to set up my camera, but we got the one rolling on top. And is it here? Oh look, I was right. There are people, but I'm just gonna drive through it. I think you can drive through it, can you not? Do I have enough clearance to drive through it? It's the tunnel log. There's a bypass, I guess, if you're too tall, but I don't know what the clearance is. Move yourself, please. People are annoying. This guy wants to like be on top of it when I'm going under it. Is the GoPro gonna clear? I think I got plenty of clearance for that. That's fun. So you could get like, so basically it's a fallen over log that you can drive through apparently. That's cool. But see, it's not like a live tree where there's a tunnel. And people, including myself, even now in 2024, coming out here thought that there was a tree here that we get to drive through, and that was the tree that we get to drive through. So I think that was probably good enough just to drive through it. There's quite a little crowd there, and it's not the same. If I had somebody with me, I'd have them get out, or I'd get out and get a selfie of Slim driving through, but with everybody parked there, that's all I wanted to do is just drive through it, and you got to see it. I did underestimate the beauty of this forest, how it is slightly different than other sequoia groves that I've seen in the fern ground cover. I would give it that makes it a little bit more photogenic and unique. And then the quantity. I just thought there'd be like a few groves, and there are, but driving down these roads, you're seeing sequoia the whole time, so I wasn't expecting quite that much. I guess we'll just stay on this Crescent Meadow Road until we, I don't know, until we don't have a road no more.
Well, there you have it, Sequoia National Park. I'll never get tired of those trees and the impact they made on me during my visit, but sadly it was time to move on to the next location. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next week up the road.